till my feelings numb down. I drink to forget tonight. Sleeping through alarms can fight.
Okay, today we're with Frank Sitting Eagle. He is a local spiritual investigator. No, but we got Frank Sitting Eagle. Do you think you could just give us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you like to do, what are your hobbies? Just kind of give the people who you are.
Well, okay. My name's Frank. Well, I don't know what else. I don't know what you want me to say.
Just introduce yourself. Give a little bit of a bio, your dancing stuff, whatever you just want to share. Just a quick intro.
All right. Well, again, my name's Frank. I have 4 kids. Born and raised here in Siksika. Actually, I'm actually a super Cree foot. So, part Sioux, part Cree. Mainly Blackfoot though. Born and raised Blackfoot. I wouldn't say I'm a spiritual investigator, but I want to be. Yeah, hobbies are baseball, hockey, all sports really, golf, and yeah.
Okay. Well, first discussion that I wanted to just start off. One thing that I want to talk about, and it's been in the past few episodes of Sit Down with Nin'na, but one thing is that I think that needs to be addressed, like on the reserve, is just stuff like mental health, mental, I guess, stuff to do with your own personal things. What kind of stuff would you like to see on the reserve to help people, I guess, help themselves mentally and help others on the reserve? Like, what kind of stuff would you like to see in terms of that?
Jeez, there's a lot. My biggest thing, honestly, is for people's mental health is getting out there and playing sports.
Yeah.
Culturally,
Yeah.
all types of things you can do culturally. Volunteer with the hockey association, or like mainly anything to do with the sportsplex.
Yeah.
Mental health isn't just through the health center. It could be a variety of things.
Yeah.
I think what has always helped me is sports.
Yeah.
Sports in general.
Yeah.
Helping kids,
Yeah.
helping youth, helping people
Yeah.
in general. I just recently helped a program, and I think that there's some bigger and better things coming.
Talk about like drinking with young people. I know underage drinking on the reserve is a big deal, and just open up like some more ideas on maybe how we could get people out of that, because I know that's a big thing, because I know we've all experienced it, and it's something like even just I hear of kids drinking at like 13, 14. Like I hear of it and I'm like, wow, 13. I remember even going to there's like this basketball game happening, right? This was like in 2016, but like I remember I seen this high school kid. I went to the high school kid. They were not saying that it was on the reserve or anything, but like he was from he said he was from Siksika. I seen him, and he was smoking. And I asked him how old he was, and he said 13. I was like, "You're smoking and you're 13." I don't know. I just like even I'm not saying like I know a lot of people chew too. Like I chewed when I was like 14, but I think that's also kind of like all these different things kind of play into addictions too. Like especially when you're older or when you don't grow out of it, kind of a thing. I kind of feel like when it keeps going into your 20s, your 30s. I think it really plays an effect, and I think also too it's like this long term, like what do you call it, like it's hard to like deal with it when you're 30, you know what I mean, Like I still have problems too, and they happened when I was a kid, so it's harder to deal with them. And it's kind of like I feel like those can be big, huge, like
It's almost like a gateway to that addiction, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of things on the reserve that a lot of people don't really. Well, I think people know,
yeah,
but how to get out of it is probably the biggest thing. But
yeah,
I know everybody battles with addictions in every family.
uh-huh.
But it's environment.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like when you have an environment, you have groups of kids that make it okay, or
yeah, yeah,
adults that make it okay. A lot of our influencers are adults.
yeah, yeah,
When I was a kid, I didn't drink at a young age. I waited till I was an adult. But um, when when I saw like friends and family doing it, or friends of friends, it was the older kids, or
Yeah.
it was the older generation
uh-huh.
that kind of made it cool or made it okay, or
Yeah, yeah,
they're like, you wanted to fit in and you wanted to be a part of that.
yeah.
But there are some people that don't fall into it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's your environment, really.
And too, like that also got me thinking about like when how do you say it? Like, well, when I was younger, I noticed the big thing in high school was like, it was kind of made you cool if you were going out and stuff.
It's still like that, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's still, even like I used to go to powwows when I was I think my first powwow I really, really went to was when I was like 12, 13. And,
yeah.
when I first experienced that, it was the same thing there. The cool thing was to be kind of like a rebel, or like, you do bumper car ride, or what is
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
Where you ride,
bumper shiners or
bumper
whatever.
shine.
Yeah.
You do things like that, and then when you see a bunch of kids laughing, having fun, or adults or older people telling you,
Yeah, yeah.
or, I mean, there were adults that were telling you not to do it, but
Yeah.
you had so many of your peers that were like, let's just do it, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's always been around everything. So that's why I think in order to change addictions on a reserve, we have to change our environment. Our environment around everything, like volunteering at, as a sportsplex. So you're always
Yeah.
seeing sports. You're always seeing, even going to a powwow.
Yeah.
That's the social part of our way of life here in Siksika. But like culturally, you don't
Yeah.
have to really go to ceremonies, but you could practice cultural beliefs of like respect,
Oh yeah.
hard work and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna force anybody to go to a ceremony. It's not something.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
you
Yeah.
know.
Do you think it also has to do with like I know it's always like a subject that comes up when we talk about this kind of stuff, but like I know that how do I say when you're looking at generational trauma basically I know that's kind of a big like I didn't start thinking about it when I was till I was like maybe 19, 20 that there was a lot of generational trauma and we don't know that we're affected by it. And I also think too because of what happened I think we talked about this with I think it was Caleb and I think it was Brad, I don't know which one, but 1967 I know that was like a very like not important but like a very devastating time for Siksika and just Siksika in general, but like because I know during that date there was like lots of drinking that went on. There was like
The liquor rights, yeah. We had
yeah, liquor rights. I remember hearing people of like just literally that day just quitting their job. Not judging anybody, but it's just like it was a hard time for Siksika, and it's just well when you think about it, there was like these people like I remember hearing of like society members. Like one day they were just like I forget where I seen the story, but it was like this little girl. Or I seen an interview of this lady. She was an older lady. Said that her dad was a beaver bundle owner, and she I don't think it was a beaver bundle, but he had a bundle, and every morning that he would sing that's all she remembered was him singing. And then 1967 came along. They said that was the last time she ever heard those songs, stuff like that. And then just like being abused and then it being passed down, and not that it's anybody's fault, but like I think that also may be a key player, because like looking at it now, it's just like from that time to now, it's almost made it like you see it in a lot of young people that it's just basically generational trauma, and it's just basically it's nobody's fault, but it was passed down, and it was like I feel like there's like a lot of unresolved, well, what would you say, like anger, bunch of stuff, and just it basically, like what you said, it became the environment of some young kids, which is very sad, I find. But not
It's normal across the reserve, not just our reserve, but
yeah,
if we're talking about our reserve specifically,
yeah,
it became normalized that that's what life was all about.
yeah,
And I remember growing up, seeing it all over,
yeah,
everywhere. Like we didn't go around like how we are now. Like, I grew up on the east side of Siksika. Now I live on the west side of
Yeah.
Siksika, but nothing was really different. I think that intergenerational trauma, if some people deny it, I always ask, like, can you speak our language then?
yeah,
If you can't speak our language fluently, then you're affected by
yeah,
residential schools. You're affected by like all of this stuff. And
yeah,
I think the biggest thing though that people have lost is what's our belief system, or I guess like our ancestors. They were very compassionate.
oh yeah,
They showed a lot of love. The way they raised kids.
yeah,
Kids weren't like little kids are meant to cry. Like if they cry,
yeah.
you don't tell them not to cry.
Oh yeah,
You don't. You just let them cry because they have to understand how to heal. And
yeah.
but you're very like soft with them. And I heard one story when I was younger, when I was starting to learn Blackfoot. A parent was getting mad at their child, trying to discipline their child because they were throwing a fit, and then the mom of the parent told her and said, if you're gonna get mad at your child, get mad at them in Blackfoot.
Oh yeah,
And then that person didn't know how.
yeah,
And then she said, because there's no way to get mad at a child in Blackfoot. Like in a way, the way she was talking.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
there's way like saying mope beat or
Oh yeah,
see it or things like that, but it wasn't like yeah. It
Like-
sounds a lot more comforting than
yeah.
yelling. But yeah, like I think it's environment. Addictions on this reserve is all, and it's not even just drugs, alcohol. It's like gambling. Gambling's a really big addiction.
Oh yeah.
It leads to a lot of things like, self-doubt and, and there's a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Smoking
Yeah,
cause cancer. Could, there's a bunch of stuff. And drugs isn't just something as little as one or two things. There's so many drugs.
oh
Yeah. And then, but I think a lot of it is environment. That's why I always think people need to just do what we used to do and like visit people, visit elders, visit friends, go to the sportsplex, go to the community center, whatever.
Yeah.
We used to have community centers when I was a kid though.
Oh yeah.
When they would have like random things, but now I think we need to bring some of that stuff back.
Yeah, we do. Like, I think if we like, I don't know, it's kind of like hard to like try. I guess. Sorry, I was looking at the levels. I guess like hard to talk about just because it's like how do we help everybody? It's kind of like it's very hard to help everybody because it's like no, well, like let's say we just start a program, right? Let's say we do a program, like we'll have a bunch of people who are, I guess, like we'll bring together everybody. Like we'll go have like a culture camp, let's say down at by the Arbor or by Blackfoot Crossing, right? We'll live there. We'll gather our own food. We'll like show them how to smudge and stuff like that. Like show them how Blackfoot people use a smudge. Maybe we'll have like a couple society members go down there, and like just like show them how to do that. But then we get like we could do that kind of stuff, but like how do we include everybody? It's because even if we have that culture camp and we bring 100 people, it may not we may not be well, like we obviously can't include everybody. Like how do we get everybody involved? Like for me, if I had the resources, I guess, but like not saying that I would like I'm like I got like the best solution, but like if I were to try to do something like that, I think I would try just go to a house and like I guess go door to door, you know what I mean? Go door to door, something like that.
I think the hardest part of what you're talking about that a lot of people have struggles with is I think it's becoming positive, but there was no normal of trying to quit or the sobriety part. That was like frowned upon. You were a quitter, or you lost friends, and people try to follow quotes like if you lose friends, they weren't your true friends. But people don't really follow that because in the moment, in hindsight, people live by hindsight. And if you think you might get a handful of people that don't, but if you live in hindsight, you'll never see the bigger picture. And then a lot of people on our reserve, like even me and you, we could live in hindsight. Like certain things, like say trauma or grief, sadness, that leads to addictions. That leads to what makes you comfortable. What makes you feel better. So in hindsight, in the moment, people will choose the easiest, quickest way to not feel so sad or you know what I mean? But in the long run, they don't see what addictions is going to kill. It's not, addiction kills, and it kills like happiness. It kills love. It kills friendships. It kills families. It kills lots of things. But, they don't see that stuff until it's too late, really.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And
yeah.
Just like stuff like that. So I forgot what you said something and it like made something click in my head. Oh, I'll just keep going. But like,
but you're not gonna see the big thing with that. I think is gonna be positive. On the reserve, what has been like kind of progressing in a positive way is sobriety is becoming
a thing,
a big thing.
And
it's becoming normal. And the more and more we generalize it to be normal, like it's a good thing. I think the more and more people are gonna go to sobriety. I
think one thing too, like expanding like on kids' environment. When I first started coming here, I noticed that when it was like, I guess like just with how kids acted, you know what I mean? Like you said that it was kind of a thing to be bad, and it was kind of a thing to be like that cool rebel kind of a kid. And I kind of almost like started falling into that, being like, oh yeah, well, like I play hockey and I'm the tough kid and kind of a thing. And like that was something that I noticed a lot of kids fall into. And it was like almost like there were times where I was put in these kind of like uncomfortable situations, you know what I mean? Where I was like kind of like, whoa, the vibe of the like I noticed that some people that I hung around with, I was like, whoa, this is kind of like it's weird to think that this was like the environment that they were raised in. It's like how do we change environments for kids that are I mean, it's so easy to talk about it. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to like actually do it. But like maybe we'll give ideas to somebody in the community who could actually go do it, who is watching this. But like how could we help kids on the reserve, or not just kids, but how do we help families, do better and try harder? Like maybe just getting, like what I was saying, going door to door saying, hey, Sundance is happening. maybe do you want to come down? Well, like maybe we could have something where we have like transportation provided for people and just be like there's going to be food down there, you can hang out, you could there's some of your relatives there, we'll show you where your like your clan is. What's your last name, this is your clan. We'll even provide tents for you if you want. Like you could stay down there for the duration of Sundance. So just stuff like that, you know what I mean? Helping families like that, and just like letting them know that there's people out there that are trying to care, trying to help others. And like I think that would be a good place to start, is like when they're young, like 6, 5, 6, 7, like helping families. Like if a family needs, like, let's say, I think one thing that happens a lot on the reserve is like, so some families will go through a hard time, right? Like whether it's financially, relationship wise, and it just seems like they'll be like, oh, so they turn to alcohol, they start drinking, and then the kid gets left out. Instead of that, maybe we'll have something that will help. But yeah, just helping families, like what was I saying? Oh yeah, like financially, just having something there for families. Like if there was like some sort of support thing, like maybe if they need food, maybe if they need help, like
I know you, like, I think your ideas are pretty good, because I know you're not the only one that thinks about things like that. And
yeah,
I think everything you've said it's been ideas, it's been
Yeah.
programs, it's been done, it's been,
yeah,
hardest part is like finding what families need it. But
Yeah.
to me, it's like trying to teach people of all walks of life on this reserve, and not just our reserve. We have a lot of people that don't live on the reserve,
yeah,
but all of our members, and targeted as equal.
yeah,
See, the biggest thing is like, oh, we're not going to go to this family because they don't have addictions. It's like, no, what they might have some intergenerational trauma way of raising each other,
yeah,
like living. So I think the hardest part in the past or over these years has always been what families.
yeah.
We always target certain families, but it's like, to me, it's like we almost have to target everybody in different types of ways all over the reserve. But it comes down to funding all the time.
Yeah, funding. That's like one big thing. Like, how do we even do this stuff without any? Like, we're gonna need like thousands of dollars, and how do we keep money coming in?
And as people, though, once we start almost practicing our way of life, like the way our people used to do it,
Yeah,
I don't think money, food, stuff like that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Because if you traditionally follow our way of life, you're not what's the word? Like, we were very communal people.
Yeah.
We always did things as a group.
Yeah.
Not one person was better than the other. Like, to me, that's where the trend is right now. It's like a lot of these departments, or like certain people, they want the glory, they want the spotlight, but our people never were that way.
Oh yeah,
Our
yeah.
people were very, Siksika as one.
Yeah.
We all help each other.
Uh-huh.
Everybody helps each other. So I think in the long run, like in the beginning, I think if you throw as much money into it as possible, everything will iron itself out, and then it won't become money. It will become like something just great, like things that will be just normal. But then we got to be careful, because there's a lot of what's the word? There's a certain word for it, but there's religious people.
Oh yeah,
There's Christians, like there's cultural people, spiritual people. Then there's
yeah.
anything. There's what is the word? What's the scientific word for someone that really doesn't believe anything but science?
Oh, atheist.
Atheist.
Yeah.
There's atheists. You have to respect that everybody has their own belief system, but
Oh yeah.
but as a community, that belief system shouldn't get in the way of making sure all of our people succeed.
Oh yeah.
Together. Like, but that's the thing. My biggest thing is all these programs are meant for everybody.
Yeah.
Not just specific. Just because you work at higher end jobs, or you work at the schools, or you work at the band office, doesn't mean you need help. You don't need help.
Yeah.
Just because you're making 6-figure salaries or
Yeah.
high salaries doesn't mean you don't need help.
Yeah.
A lot of people need help.
Yeah.
It's not just those ones that are on the welfare system or
Yeah.
are struggling or going to jail or anything
Uh-huh.
like that. It's not just those families that we need to fix. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Like even chief and council need help.
Yeah.
Because they deal with a lot of stress and they have
Yeah.
a lot of big things they have to deal with.
Uh-huh.
High-end managers, like there's so many people.
Mhm.
And I think that's where our programs always target. We always target social services route,
Yeah.
health services route. We always target the ones that really, really need the help.
Yeah.
But, I think if we normalize that everybody always needs to help, doesn't matter who you are,
Yeah.
everyone gets help.
Yeah.
Then because how I see it is a lot of people have a lot of pride.
Yeah.
And they won't join certain programs or they won't go to these programs
Yeah.
because they don't want people out there knowing that they have a problem.
Uh-huh.
But if we make it generalized and it's everybody, doesn't matter who you are, then people won't be worried about it because
Yeah.
everybody, all walks of life under the reserve goes to that
Yeah.
program
Uh-huh.
type of thing. That's where I think we need to start. But it has to start from higher ups, like funding wise. I don't see why it can't be its own thing, like money wise.
Yeah.
We get money from the government, but as a reserve,
Yeah.
as people, we all should in some way.
Uh-huh.
We can't live for free like we can't expect ourselves to not live for free. We don't live for free, but we what's the word? Like we can't be dependent on services.
Yeah.
We have to you pay into something, you treat it more respectfully.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different topic, but yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just like stuff like that. Like that's also a hard subject too because like I know there's like always those moments where like are we doing the right thing kind of a thing. Like are we doing the right thing like in a sense of like are we helping everybody like I hope kind of like the thought am I doing something wrong or is everybody gonna be happy with this? You know what I mean? It's those kind of things when you like discuss them or like bring them up or even do them. It's hard because like it's hard to please everybody. Not saying that there's bad people out there, but like just like it's hard to do things right. It's hard to, I guess like. Oh, well, one thing that I find is like, how do we, if we were to actually do something like this, right, and help the reserve, with all the stuff that we talked about, like, how do we keep it going? Because, like, I know we're going to find some things like it may die off, it may not have the same attention that it had like 3 years down the road. Like, how can we make it sustainable to where we're helping people constantly, keeping people like without running out of money and stuff like that, without like getting people unmotivated to do things like well what if we get it started, we have someone run it, and then like within the next year they just start getting lazy, or not lazy, but they just kind of get unmotivated to do it. It's like how do we make this like sustainable? Because I know that's sometimes kind of a problem sometimes with some programs. I'm not saying all, but like I know some of the things are like it's hard. You know what I mean? It's also a hard subject to talk about and even do, but yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
One of the big things when it comes to money,
Yeah.
that I've noticed with programs is how do you record success
Oh yeah.
in words or numbers
Yeah.
for our people or for like people paying for it
Yeah.
to make it worth keep staying with it.
Yeah.
But I think if you think about it, it's using like if you think outside the box.
Yeah.
People always go down the same route.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But if you think outside the box, just with what you're saying, you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest, you could use that same ideology
Yeah.
and say, okay, so because not everybody will just accept this program that you put on, you have to understand also everybody has different strengths.
Yeah.
And our community back then, we were built on that.
Yeah.
We did things based on people's strengths.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody was a chief and leader. Not
Uh-huh.
everybody was a warrior. You know, not everybody, did the same thing at the best, all the same.
Yeah.
We weren't robots.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in order to keep programs like this that you're suggesting,
Yeah.
in order to keep them sustainable or like to be kind of an everyday thing, like
Yeah.
just something that's just part of our lives,
Yeah.
is using everybody's strengths. And there's people that have the ability to make sure that we keep funding. There's ability to make sure everybody keeps motivated.
Oh yeah.
I think people being called like that's a whole other subject too that you can go on. But,
Yeah.
I think our people are very, it's very easy to fall into a rut of what you were saying, like unmotivated,
Yeah. Yeah.
like where you're not, when you first get a job,
Yeah.
you're gung ho and you're just like going, you're working hard, you're doing out of the ordinary things.
Yeah.
And then after a year, you kind of slack off. Then you get tired or
Yeah, yeah.
something. You don't have that same drive
Yeah.
because you solidified your job.
Yeah.
So now I'm just gonna cut corners. I'm gonna show up, every day 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take an extra hour lunch break, or
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna leave early because it's Friday, or
Oh yeah.
that becomes normal.
Uh-huh.
So if we can normalize using everybody's strengths, things like battling addictions will be an everyday thing that everybody
Yeah.
thinks about.
Yeah.
But it's changing people's mindsets. Like, you have very egotistic people,
Oh yeah.
and it's all not just natives; it's human beings. You have
Yeah.
egotistics, you have cynical people, you have
Oh yeah.
Debbie Downers, you have,
Yeah,
the real
yeah.
positive kind, you have, the real, like, what are the my funniest ones that I know of are the like, I like people that are, what's the word? I can't figure out the word. It's like, not, I don't know the right word now. It just slipped my mind. It's on the tip of my tongue. But it's like these people are very good at being the voice of reason. They're always the person that's like, well,
Yeah.
it could have been worse. Like,
Yeah.
you have so many people, so many different minds. Like me and you, we don't think the same. We don't
Yeah.
believe in the same things.
Yeah.
But if we both had, like, we both like powwow,
Yeah.
but that's something we can kind of, I guess we could say is something we both like.
Yeah.
But both the way we do it is totally different.
Yeah.
The way we think about what it is.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I think that's where everything starts with. Like, they always talk about that every election year.
Yeah.
The biggest topic is how do we battle addictions? Like, to me, it's one of the biggest, or how do we help our youth and stuff like that. But nothing ever gets, if the topic's always every election,
Yeah.
without going political here,
Yeah.
if the topic's always the same, that means nothing's getting done.
Yeah.
So everyone's going on the same route.
Yeah.
Everybody's throwing programs out. Oh, let's throw a program out here. But, where's the success in these programs if that topic's always the same?
Yeah.
Since, I don't know, since 67, I guess,
Uh-huh.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been, but.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just like, especially with like stuff like, I also hear on the reserve, but like one thing that I know that is very, like, present on the reserve is also people, or mainly like just, it doesn't matter any age. I've heard it from people who are in their 30s, 40s, in their teens. But like I hear of people like, wanting to get into culture and stuff like that, and then well, not just ceremony wise, but like also power wise. Like I know there's like it would be kind of cool to see like I mean like I know program would be the easiest route, but like something at least something to like I guess like guide people or like guide people like let's say somebody wants an outfit made, right? And they're like, okay, well, how do I do it? Like, where do I even begin? You know, like I know there's a lot of people out there that don't even know where to start. Like, oh, you can just go to the fabric store and buy some fabric. You know, like,
Yeah.
yeah. Just like
I think the biggest thing with what you're saying is what people have troubles with. I just learned this
yeah,
recently. Is when you use program or
Yeah.
project,
yeah.
it means there's an end.
Oh
So
yeah,
we got to change using that word
yeah.
and saying this is just something that we provide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is just part of it. Because I like the idea that, part of it is volunteer though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things on the reserve, we need more volunteers in your expertise. I just taught how to make moccasins.
Oh yeah.
If you looked at me, you wouldn't think I'd be the person to,
Yeah.
teach somebody how to make moccasins, but I can.
Yeah.
But I could go back and I could say, I didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
I just took what I was taught and I want to teach other people. And I think that's where we need, like, if people want to get into powwow, there should be some kind of, see, it's really hard not to use program. It's like,
Yeah.
we need some kind of entity in a way where you can go and seek, okay, this is how you start
Yeah.
to do this. Or you want to learn how to dance grass?
Yeah.
We have this guy, Tyrone.
Oh yeah.
And we have things like that, like me and you only know grass and traditional, but
Yeah.
there's people that want to dance or even just sing.
Yeah.
Why isn't there something where why isn't there a building like we have the arbor?
Yeah.
Sadly, on like without going into that topic, sadly there's been a lot of more like funerals and
Yeah.
sad things going on there, but that's a building for celebration.
Yeah.
Why isn't it open for singers
Oh yeah.
and without having to pay for it?
Yeah.
Why can't drummers go there and practice their songs, and then when people want to go learn how to sing, they know where to go?
Oh yeah.
Right now the people practice in their basements
Yeah.
or in their garage.
Yeah.
Where's the practicing for dancing?
Yeah.
And at the same time, you could have that building opened up where you might have 3-4 drum groups that 3-4 drums set up there.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn how to dance, well, there's dancing there too.
Yeah.
People don't look at powwow. Well, that's a whole different subject. Me and you have had this conversation about powwows.
Yeah.
But everything's about money.
Uh-huh.
Or the glory of winning first. There's always those egotistic people that are out in the powwow circle that will be like, oh, I beat that guy. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Why did our conversation have to start with that?
Yeah.
Oh, I beat this guy. It's like, so, like, I thought you came here to dance for the people. If you want to dance for the people, I better not see you wearing a number.
Yeah.
People don't dance for the people.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants to like, win. They want that glory.
Yeah.
And it, like last year, I went to however many powwows, all the same winners.
Yeah.
Either that's saying that these are the best dancers in this area.
Yeah.
Well, how come there's no like circuit or these like champions?
Yeah.
We want to see the best, but then also at the same time, people want to dance. Well, there's the arbor.
Yeah.
Why isn't it open all the time?
Yeah.
Why isn't it, from morning to like just 24 hours? Maybe has to be a schedule of when people can go there and sing and dance and practice.
That'd be cool. Something like that.
Yeah.
Just
Like it doesn't have to be around. It doesn't have to be funded by, it's
anything.
it's just, when me and you, we used to sing with our, our brothers and sisters. Well, actually just our brothers in the Horn Society. We had our group, remember?
Yeah. Blackfoot.
We had our Blackfoot 146.
Yeah.
We didn't really we just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
But when we sang, there was no money in it.
Yeah, yeah,
We just said we're singing at so and so's house,
yeah.
and then we'd all show up and sing, practice.
Yeah.
And I never sang all my life.
Yeah.
And I will never be able to go to a powwow nowadays, and then a drum group be like, "You want to learn how to sing?" Like you don't
Yeah,
get
yeah,
any of that.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you practice, then there'll be more drum groups, there'll be more singers, there'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
more dancers. Like
Yeah.
I'd like that. Like just one little thing like that, without saying program, project,
Yeah, yeah.
without saying those, that will change
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people's views in their lifestyle, their environment.
Yeah.
They won't revert to, like if I don't know what to do today and my addiction is like, say, drinking, right? If I don't know what to do today, but I know, you know what? They're singing at the Arbor. I want to learn how to sing today. Screw it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to go try sing instead of go drink,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So something like that. Even just like I like to like just like even hand games. Like
Yeah.
I know I forget when that was, but like we went to a hand game, and like to me, like that's a lot more funner than going out.
Yeah.
Like I personally don't like that kind of environment when you go out and you're like, oh yeah, that I can't handle it. But like when we go to like when we spend our nights, doing stuff like that, like fun, just hitting the drum, just sitting there, like I remember it was just being so fun. I remember this was like in 2016, but I remember going there and just getting it handed to me by a bunch of old people at the hand games, and I remember they just beat. I forget who was with me, but it was just us two, and I think you were supposed to we made a team, but only me and this other person showed up, and we just got beat. But like it was fun. We spent our whole night there, and just stuff like that. Yeah, just like
we build these buildings, like say the Arbor.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we have maybe 4 or 5 powwows per year, but there's 365 days every year.
Yeah.
Why isn't it open for powwows, or not just? It doesn't have to be just strictly powwows. I know you have to make money for maintenance and stuff like that, but these guys are getting paid maintenance, but they're already getting paid.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't mean, in a way, it's like our facilities got to be used in a way where it makes our people learn things.
Yeah,
the Sportsplex, there should be ice on there all the time. Like when I don't know how that works, but if it could be year round, the talent our kids have on the reserve.
Yeah.
Why don't we have an NHLer? But yet I've seen all these kids have that ability.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all comes down to funding and then whatever, right? But when it comes to like hand games, I think that'd be awesome if there was a hand game building. We have one, but it's outdoor.
Yeah.
But if there was an indoor hand game building,
Yeah.
you want to learn how to sing, want to just go play, have a hand game club.
Yeah, yeah.
I know there's random ones here and there, but some people thrive in that rather than powwow.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people love powwow more than hand games. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
then there's other things like, how come we don't have a horse track? A lot of people are into horses.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Yeah, yeah.
How come there isn't? They have the agriculture plex, but it's like we need I don't think nobody would be against building a racetrack on the reserve.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I know people might be political and say, well, where are we going to put it? It's going to be on the west end, east end. It doesn't matter as long as we have a racetrack.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be cool, to see, like you can bring your kids to see the way they practice, the way they warm up, and
that'd be cool.
That'd be good for schools to, what's the word, equine therapy. That could be part of it.
Yeah.
Or
too.
just learning how.
That's also cool too because I like how it's just not. How it's just.
That was just one topic, pretty much.
Yeah, one topic. Well, I'll just finish off this one little topic that I have to say too. But I like how it's just it's not only just activities that are cultural. It is cultural things that is probably one of the main core things, like ceremonies and powwow, and ceremonies is a big thing for people, but also too, it just doesn't have to be that too. It could be culture could be implemented through many ways, and I think it could be just like even just hockey, just like hockey, if there's like kids who want to play hockey, like like what it will like a good example, like this was one thing that came up, and I know I may be repeating myself, but like what if we had like this like, let's say somebody wants to join AAA midget hockey and their parents don't know how to do it. And so like what if we had somebody to help this kid, imaginary kid, to be like, okay, well, you're going to go play some, we're going to get you there. We're going to have we have trainers on the reserve. We're going to train you. Yeah, right. And so we'll get you your tryouts, midget, AAA midget, all these different things, like, or like even just people who want to go to university or college or get into like these like training stuff. Like, let's say there's somebody who wants to get into movies, making movies, we'll have somebody there for that, being like, okay, well, this is what you're going to do. I could go get all the papers for you. You can sign them. This is what you need. If you don't have them, well, okay, we could send you back for upgrading, or we could send you to, you could get some school done. Well, you just have to give me your diploma and your stuff, and we'll do all that for you. Stuff like that, because I find a lot of people are stopped by this stuff because like all that stuff seems intimidating, signing papers, but like it doesn't have to be just cultural, like, learning how to ride a horse. A lot of our people in the past have learned how to ride horses. Like, I know there was even
Like our people are basically horse people.
yeah.
Yeah.
We rode horses a lot. Well, we rode horses. I'm not like an expert horse person, but I know it can be in some way like therapeutic. Therapeutic.
I think the biggest thing where you're kind of what you're saying is like what I like what you're saying is it's really hard for people to know where to begin.
Yeah.
In something that they want to do. I know in the Western world you just got to go and do it yourself, but in the Western world it's very individualistic.
Yeah.
Very. But whereas our people we didn't worry about our oneself. Like you're right. People should like go and try to achieve their dreams, like be an NHL player. That's self. But a community will support that kid.
Yeah.
What would be kind of neat is having a facility somewhere on this reserve.
Yeah.
Where you can go and get any information regarding anything from culture to powwow to religion to schooling to work to like anything you want. Anything you want, there's a place you can go for resources. And I know like there's cards, people give out cards. It's like, I'm gonna lose that in my wallet or my car, but it's like, why aren't we up with the times? There's QR codes, we have a bunch of students here in this building, high school, that can learn how to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
That we could utilize as businesses.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the subway wants a QR code for, their menu and open in time. So we want the schools, who's going to come up with the best QR code or the best, and then, you get these kids to, learn that type of stuff, like upgrading things.
Yeah.
You have people that are into music, and one thing I can't get behind is like rap music that Native people do, but but if that's what their passion is, we need that. They need that support. Where's our studios?
Yeah, for real.
Where's our studio for kids to learn how to sing or rap or make their own recordings?
Yeah.
I know everything's money, but if our people put money into it, if it's like, a few bucks here and there, I think people would do that stuff if we had the access to do that thing.
Yeah. And it that's also cool too, because like let's say if like, I think that would be another way of helping our people too, with like, let's say this facility that we magically conjured up. Let's say it existed and somebody was like, there's like a person struggling on the reserve, right? And let's say they were doing really bad, like, lost their house. They're not making money. They need, car payments paid and stuff like that. Let's say they go to this place and be like, okay, hey, I'm just regarding something, I kind of need a job right now, like and this facility could be like, oh, okay, well, we'll help you get a job. It'd be like, it may not be on reserve. There's no like hypothetically, I'm just trying to bring in like a problem that could be relevant on the reserve, but like let's say it's just like, okay, well, there's no jobs on the reserve right now, but we'll help you get a job off the reserve. Uh, if you come in tomorrow at 8 o'clock, come in tomorrow. We'll help you write your resume. We'll get your cover letter done, and then we'll make some calls, and then we'll help you send in your resume, and we'll get you a job.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing, like just stuff like that. Helping people like that. That would be pretty cool if we could help people like that.
Yeah.
Just like
I know we have sets,
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We do have that, but you know, a lot of people don't know how to or when to go, how to go.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know, like that's why I think cuz I wanted to make sure that if someone's listening, they're like, "What? We have sets."
Oh,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
people could come to and get a job. It's like, well, the problem we have here is like people don't know what
to do.
what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
You have jobs that are available for us, but it's like, you need a facility where no matter where if you walk in there, that facility is gonna be able to help you with anything that's on your mind or anything
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
need help with, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There might be people that are struggling just to get to Calgary to an appointment. Well, here's the place.
Yeah.
You show up to this place and it's like, I need to go here, and then it's like anybody, you put it over intercom and there's like hundreds of people working here or
Yeah.
volunteering here or just chilling out here. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to Calgary now. You can jump in with me. It's like, and then,
Yeah.
you get whatever. But
Uh-huh.
I like these ideas. Like these are like big ideas that people don't really think about.
Yeah, yeah.
I think about the Sportsplex. Sadly, people like other teams.
Yeah.
They don't want to come play here. It's not because of the facility. Maybe it is, but they say our hockey's not the greatest, or it's like kind of a wasted trip or whatever. That was just one isolated incident, but they're onto something, and to me, we need to change things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the Sportsplex, like the workers there, be visible.
Yeah, yeah.
Wear tracksuits, wear suits, or wear
Yeah.
jackets or hoodies, or something
Yeah, yeah.
that shows that you're one of the staff there. That if I need help with the bathroom, well, I know who to go to.
Yeah, yeah.
If I need hockey tape, I know where to go.
Yeah.
You can't even buy hockey tape at the Sportsplex.
That'd be pretty cool if we could just like even just have like a store there too. Like let's say like upstairs too, that whole viewing area. Let's say like just turn that into a store, have a bunch of hockey sticks, equipment, everything. Like our own place to where and then maybe that's even more revenue that could come into the reserve too. Like
Yeah, instead of just a big board meeting room that, when are these board meetings? I never see people there. And if they are, it's 1-2 hours and you get catered in food. Well, there's a concession right down below. Use them.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that we miss because people aren't looking outside that box.
Yeah, yeah.
Or people aren't, like, but all these things that we're talking about right now, all will help our people with addictions, because everything will like spread out in a way of like having something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone will have something to do.
Yeah.
It'll become my idea behind addictions is like, it's something that it's so big that you can't just hit it with one program.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't change it with one law that you change. Like,
yeah.
oh, we're gonna ban all drug dealers on the reserve. Well, who's the drug dealers?
Yeah.
Like it's so, if a person is buying drugs off a certain dealer, that person's not gonna rat that dealer out, type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's so big that one little thing's not gonna change it.
Yeah.
But if you start changing the way we use the reserve in the facilities, and we have accessibilities and stuff like that, it'll change the way people use our things, like on the reserve. Like, and my biggest, like, out of this whole conversation this was just spur. I never thought about it before, but I just thought about while we're talking. I was like, how come we can't use the arbor just to go sing?
Yeah.
How come we can't go practice to dance?
Yeah. Sure.
Why does it have to be just strictly for birthday parties and funerals,
Oh,
and
yeah.
wakes? Like, why don't we use it for other things?
Yeah.
I know they're trying to build a new arbor. I don't know what the plan is there or what's going on, but we're trying to get an outdoor arbor. Well, if there was an outdoor arbor, would we be able to go sit in an arbor and sing? Will somebody come over there and kick us out? Will security drive around and be like, you guys can't be here?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, we can't use the arbor and sing?
Oh,
What's the rules here?
Yeah.
Like at the arbor right now, I know you don't want vandalism, but, if you have employees that could work, if you have security, you have whatever, well, there's jobs right there.
Yeah.
You can create jobs, you can create volunteer work,
Yeah.
you can use work experience. There's so many ways to get people working and doing things.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's just like how, it's very interesting. It's just like we could do so much and we could bring so much to the reserve, but like how, in terms of like, again, like it's, I guess it's one thing to say something about it, but like, that's why I keep saying like maybe, hopefully we give somebody some ideas.
Yeah, to do something like this.
Yeah. Like
maybe there's that one person that's like, holy crap, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I'm gonna let my uncle know, or my mom know, or my dad know, or my brother, or my sister, or my friend, and they're like, you know what I heard about this? I heard this is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, I think things like this, it's exactly what we were talking about. Is exactly what the problem is people don't know where to begin.
Yeah. Like
That's the thing. It's like people don't know where to begin.
Like how do we even start? I also find it's very hard when you don't have like somebody, like some sort of like almost like when you're going to school, like in high school and stuff like that. You have a teacher there to be like, okay, well, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. But like with this situation that we're talking about, like let's say somebody were to try do this, and it's almost like, well, where do I start? Like literally, like where do I get all the money for this? Like, like how do I even like approach, like let's say if I wanted to do this, how do I approach chief and council, or how do I approach treasury about this, or like how
like all your resources, like where do you get them? Who do you talk to, and who's the right person that isn't looking for the glory?
Yeah.
The glory is our whole reserve is going to be addiction free. I don't think it's going to be 100%. I don't think it ever will be, but we want it to be to a point where addictions isn't the biggest problem. We want people to be able to have whatever wine at the end of a hard day.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going to turn into a binge long weekend.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's where there wouldn't be a big problem right now. Like, and then you what's crazy is like we built the diamonds over here. Why aren't we pushing out like wicked leagues and baseball players? Why are all our kids in Strathmore? Like where's like, what's the point of these facilities if we're not utilizing them at their full potential?
Yeah.
And I feel like, not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but I feel like there isn't the right person in those areas that can and push out these like great teams and practices and following through with those practices. Like you go to Strathmore, you put a kid in Strathmore for baseball, let's say. You have to make practice in order to play. You're gonna show up, and there's gonna be coaches there. There's gonna be the groundskeeper fixed up the diamonds for you. Your coaches, your volunteers, all of that, they're gonna be there. Whereas here, I tried helping out once, and there was nobody at the sportsplex for the bases. It's like, well, who's in charge of the this? And then the person is overwhelmed when you get a hold of the person that's in charge. That person's overwhelmed because they have to do this. It's like, well, where's your help?
Yeah.
But it's like, where's that you almost need all the right people in those positions.
Uh-huh.
You know, like people like to blame, but I mean, it's like instead of blaming, let's figure out a solution.
Yeah.
Like me and you are talking. I don't know who listens or watches this, but
Yeah.
let's figure out those solutions. Let's use the arbor for what I said. Let's use hang game arbor. Let's use
Yeah.
the sportsplex. Let's use the high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the high school has a lot of things going there. Just, do people know that they have mechanics there? You know,
Oh yeah. Huh?
if you
Yeah.
trust them,
Yeah.
they have mechanics there. You can talk to the principal,
Yeah.
who's your dad, but
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a lot of things a lot of potential, that people just don't access or don't use
Yeah. Yeah.
at their full potential.
That would also be really cool. Like even just at the high school, even or even at the Chief Holton, just like if we had like cool things like that. Like, well, I know we got mechanics, but like mechanics and stuff. That I know that's pretty cool. But like, what if we had like a high school hockey team, or
Yeah.
even a high school football team? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a football diamond over there with a track that's full of holes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is the track maintained? No, probably not. Because I don't know if it's population. They always, I always think about it. It's like our schools are always overpopulated. They also have to try and juggle how many,
Yeah.
how many classes there is,
Yeah.
whatever. But I look over there and it's like, why don't we have a basketball team? How come we don't? Well, we have basketball teams, but why don't we have a football team? Why don't we have lacrosse team? Why don't we have a hockey team?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even a rodeo team,
Yeah.
like relay team.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many things.
Like,
Like the
even
high school in Chief Crowfoot, brand new building.
yeah.
Utilize that building for
Yeah, yeah.
things. What else is there on this reserve that's just not being used?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's the community center. It's used for what was it used for? It's kind of like for the homeless.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's a homeless shelter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to me it should be a different facility for a homeless shelter.
Yeah. Yeah.
That community center
Uh-huh.
should be used for
Oh yeah.
community things.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, we still call it a community center, but it's a homeless shelter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody wants to work at the shelter, go to the shelter. Like to me, it's everybody wants to make money. Yes, that's a part of the world. Everybody wants, to be a sustainable life.
Uh-huh.
But our people, we're not individualistic
Yeah.
in our genes, right? We're very communal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our reserve succeeded as a big community. Just imagine like our lives, how happy our lives will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just everything in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll be able to battle racism as 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Not just one person, one isolated person dealing with at the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, no, you want to go against one person from Siksika, you're going to go against like everybody. Like I'm talking like
As a community.
it's a
Yeah, yeah.
community. Racism wise or whatever.
Yeah. Just stuff like that. I really like that, like these ideas, because just like I think they would really help the reserve. I think that's also a crazy thing too. Is like, like if we were to, let's say, actually implement all this stuff and we get it, like, would we actually be able to like get the community in as a whole? Like that's like one idea I think that would like maybe delve into. Like, how do we get the community thinking like that? Like thinking like I know not everybody like what you said, like let's say somebody faces racism at the hospital in Strathmore, for example, like, and then there's another native that notices it there. Like, let's say there's just not everybody will go and help that person, right? Like, how do we get everybody thinking like, okay, well, I need to help this person. They're from Siksika, like as a community, or like even just like helping others, helping each other, being kind to one another. Like, how do we keep that ideology, or like how do we like get people thinking like that? Because even like I know even now, like let's say there's like and I'm not judging, but like let's say we get somebody to start this doing stuff like this on the reserve, helping people, and like there will always be the person that's kind of just like a bit negative. There's we can't be helped, and not talking bad about anybody, but like there will be people like that. There will be challenges like that, and not only just on the reserve, like off reserve too. Like off reserve people will be very negative towards us. Like how do we keep this thinking going? Like how do we get everybody on the same boat? Like because I know like some people, when we bring up the subject of like when we bring the subject of like, let's say we're gonna help people help them with their addictions, there's gonna be like, oh well, they're just it's not like, there'll be always that thinker that will be like, oh well, it's just another program. You know what I mean? It's just like, how are they actually gonna do something? Like kind of like, how do we get everybody thinking that we can do something together? How do we get everybody to get in on this? Because like maybe if it's like actually doing something, like maybe it's just a matter of actually doing it. You know what I mean? Maybe just not announce it or something like that. Just like one day, or like, well, basically that's what it is. Like basically just, I guess, just actually do it. Maybe something like that.
I think, and to answer your one question, like how do you get people to, like, you're always gonna have those naysayers and non-believers type of people. But if you have more and more believers and more people that are talking about making it something that's big, the less and less naysayers can do to affect your whatever it is you're trying to do. Like I think things like this, like we have to understand, regardless of what your cultural, religious, spiritual beliefs, you have to understand the roots of our people was always being helpful to each other. And then if people just understand that and just respect each other, regardless of what your beliefs are, whatever, these things are more like hobbies. Like going to a powwow, you could pray on the Bible, you can go to a Buddhist, you can go to a ceremony, but at the powwow, a grass dancer is a grass dancer. A singer is a singer. Regardless of what they believe in. That's how I look at it. And it's like, or a hockey player. A hockey player is anybody. It's just a hobby. So once you have to understand, like, once people understand, we go to our roots of like being supportive and respectful to each other, instead of being, oh, I won a championship and I won Native World Series at baseball. I'm the best player on this reserve. Like, it's like, okay, what did you get? What do people come up and ask for your autograph? Like, it's like quit trying to make it seem like you're the best at what you're doing. Instead of doing that, help the whole reserve and everybody be their best. Instead of just you yourself, like individualistic people, right? That's where I think our addictions is more like people follow. But if they have positive things to follow more, and like I'm just saying, like throwing so much at it, you almost have no choice but to follow something good. You know what I mean? But if you only have one program here and there, it's like, whatever, I'm just gonna go drink today. I don't know how to sing, so I'm not gonna go sing. You know what I mean? Like, but if you attack it at so many different hobbies, topics, plans, like everything. You're gonna be able to attack everybody. Everybody.
But just like, I think that's just to end off the discussion. I think that is something that could be looked at too. Is just like, I think if we do so much good, being like, well, even if we have a naysayer, but the point of this talk though, or this actual series, isn't about that. I think it's about trying to get the community involved. You know what I mean? Like having naysayers. We will have naysayers, but the goal is, right, to get this naysayer. Let's say there's somebody out in the res being like, okay, well, like, let's say at first they're like, oh no, it's just some program, some program, and then they're like, and then well, let's say one day they're like, oh crap, it would be really nice. I need a outfit made, and then they're trying to tell. Let's say they just start looking for people, being like, hey, well, I need a outfit made. Do you know where I can get an outfit made? Just like, and they're like, oh well, like there's the reserve is offering stuff for stuff like that. You can go actually make one, or they'll guide you to get somebody to make you one. And it's like, oh, cool. It's like almost like getting the naysayer to become a yaysayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of a thing is what.
Yeah, and the more often you do it and everything, yeah.
Yeah. Just stuff like.
I think it's just doing it. In
yeah,
general,
just
right? I honestly think things like this podcast.
Yeah.
I think this should be always something that's live and all the time.
Oh,
regardless of who it is you're talking to.
Yeah.
But if you like start this,
yeah,
like let's say, like I was telling you about that one movie.
yeah,
That person literally, that's all he does is podcast, right? That's the movie. But it's like he's slowly, the more and more you do it, at first it's going to be slow.
Yeah,
It might be, you might get to that point where people aren't really interested.
Yeah.
You just got to get past that little breakthrough.
Yeah.
And it might just hit everybody and be like, these guys talk about really important topics.
Yeah.
They even call people.
Yeah.
They even have like callers, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Instead of just a radio,
Yeah.
you have to access
Everybody.
everyone
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah.
And adults that aren't tech savvy,
Yeah.
they're on like TikToks. They're on whatever.
Yeah.
You make it accessible for all those people.
Yeah.
Things like these programs, or not programs, these ideas that we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think will go into a person's mind and be like, you know what? That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now someone else is thinking it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a hold of them and I'm gonna say, I have resources. Like,
Yeah.
you get what I mean?
Yeah, just stuff like that.
I think this stuff is like really,
Yeah, good.
really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all we have today for the discussion. Thank you, Frank, for coming in. And also, too, this is called Sit Down with Nin'na. Before I end it, I also want to say the stuff that we're talking about is just discussion. We're not trying to, it's just open discussion, just stuff that we're talking about. We're not trying to bring everybody down, or it's just stuff that we want people to tune into, maybe even discuss with us if you see us around. But yeah, that's basically what this show is about. We're here to discuss, just throw our ideas out there without any judgment. But yeah, anyways, this is Sit Down with Nin'na. My name is Tyrone Siningel, and also go subscribe to me on YouTube, Elias, Eleeus, as well as on Instagram. I think I'm babyhutch_Elias. It'll be like right here. My Instagram, I think, is where I'll edit it, right at my fingertip. All my social medias will be right here. But yeah, peace out.